Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to reply to Honorable Viman Pillai. But as this morning I was getting to Parliament, the Honorable Leader of Opposition said again that I'll be tasseling all the roads, cane access roads. I didn't say that. I only suggested and mentioned that all these cane access roads in overseas were tasseled. And Honorable Elvik Maharaj, don't take me wrong and don't campaign in the cane fields. Because that cane field politics is gone now. You can be in politics, but no cane field. Mr. Speaker said, I raised to respond to the question raised by Honorable Viman Pillai regarding the extension and construction of railway network. I must highlight, Mr. Speaker, that this is not the first time the Honourable Member has raised this issue. The same question was posed in September 2024, and I responded in detail, outlining the realities and the constraints surrounding this matter. Mr. Speaker, let me remind the Honourable Member and the members of this august House, especially those sitting on the opposite side, that while these questions are valid, they should also come with a sense of responsibility and honesty. They were part of the government that held power for 16 years and did nothing to maintain and repair or modernize the rail infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, we inherited a broken system. The rails network had been left to deteriorate under the previous administration. While decisions were made to purchase trucks to discourage farmers from using the rail network and abandon the long-term investment that could have been made, our transport system more cost-effective and sustainable today. Mr. Speaker, as I had informed the Honourable Member through this August House nearly 6 months ago, we are in the process of carrying out a comprehensive feasibility study on the railway network. This is not just about drawing lines on a map. It involves technical assessment, economic remodeling, consultations with the stakeholders, especially with the sugarcane farmers, the land owners, and aligning with the modern transport standards. Honourable Member must understand, Mr. Speaker said that the infrastructure development, especially of this scale, does not happen in a matter of months. These are high-cost, high-impact decisions that must be backed by proper evidence, planning, and most importantly, conducting the return of investment analysis. As I stated before, all the existing railway networks is outdated, only partially is functional. Of the original 482 kilometers of tram lines, only 384 kilometers are okay to use. The majority of locomotives, the rail carts, are either obsolete or non-functional. These aren't assets we can patch up or reuse. They require complete overhaul or replacement. Such locomotives are no longer available in the market, and most of the parts are not available. We must not forget many accidents that has happened in the recent past, whereby FSC personnel, including the members of the public, lost their lives under these locomotives. Meanwhile, rail transport has declined sharply from over 90% of deliveries in the past decades to just 6% in 2024. This is not just a reflection of aging infrastructure, but also a lost opportunities and misguided priorities of the past administration, especially luring FSC to invest in 117 lorries instead of upgrading the rail network system and infrastructure to reduce transport costs to farmers. Mr. Speaker, our government is taking a strategic, phased approach, starting where it matters most. With our farmers, we are focused on restoring farmer confidence, because without increased cane production, any investment in railway infrastructure will be economically unsound. As part of the approach of boosting farmer confidence, this government has introduced targeted programs, just to name a few, the farmers' incentive program, which provides $5 per ton for every additional ton a farmer supplies over the previous year's total. A manual labor subsidy of $3 per ton, which directly assists the farmers who rely on hired labor for harvesting. The new Farmers in Lease Renewal Program, which gives farmers security and confidence to stay on the land and keep producing. Mr. Speaker, these measures are not symbolic. They are designed to address real challenges and stimulate increased cane production output across the country. We are positive that the results of these interventions will be seen in the coming seasons. Once production is restored to a sustainable level, we will have a stronger case and a solid foundation for making significant infrastructure investment, including the installation of new railway networks. Mr. Speaker, this government will not make a hollow promises, will not rush into high-cost ventures without doing necessary groundwork. Our decisions will be data-driven, farmer-focused, and financially responsible. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, the honourable member seems eager for quick announcements. Our approach is grounded with reality. We are building from the ground up, restoring trust, increasing production, preparing for the infrastructure that can stand for the test of time. And before I sit down, Mr. Speaker, his Honourable Usmate keeps on saying hogwash. It's not a hogwash. You were hogging wash.